you been thinking about moving to Denton, Texas? Well, in this video, we're going to talk about everything there is to know about Denton, Texas from a bird's eye view. So if that sounds interesting to you, stay tuned. Hey, if this is your first time to the channel, welcome, glad to meet you. My name is Wendy Pinnell. I am a local real estate broker here with On Track Realty. If you want to know everything there is to know about living in Dallas, Texas, or any of its many suburbs, including Denton, be sure and hit that subscribe button and click on that little bell. We have been in the business since 2007, helping buyers and sellers just like you every day, and we absolutely love it. We're also a family brokerage. So if you like the idea of our family helping yours, be sure and head on down to that description section and fill out our Let's Find Home questionnaire. You're also welcome to call or drop us a text or send us an email. Really, any of those ways work. We're just glad to help you find home in Dallas, Texas. But okay, I said today that we were going to talk about Denton and everything there is to know about Denton. So let's get to it. Let's hop onto the computer and go after it. Okay, so here we have kind of that big picture view of the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. You can kind of see this right here. And let me kind of show you where Denton is in regard to that. So we have Fort Worth, we have Dallas, and then we have Denton. So you can kind of see it's this triangle basically. And so the commute times are fairly close. Just kind of while we're up in this big picture, I want to show you 35. As you can see right here, 35 is one highway going into Oklahoma, and it's also one highway down here headed south. But within the Metroplex, 35 splits into 35E and 35W. So if you ever hear us saying that, there you have it, 35E goes this way and 35W goes this way. And where does it split? Well, it splits right here in Denton. And so as we're talking about commute times, you're going to hear over and over again, take 35, take 35. So that is why. Let's take a look at some commute times. Let's see what we have here. All right, if we were talking about downtown Dallas, let me kind of make this a little bigger for you so you can see. So from downtown Dallas to Denton, you'd be talking about a 47-minute drive. Okay, so let's kind of see what that would look like. Well, it's pretty much a straight shot all the way down on I-35. And just being brutally honest here, this is not a very fun highway, partly because look at all those intersections. So you have all this merging traffic that comes in here that makes it kind of a slow commute, and depending on the time of day, it may not be could be longer, depending on the time of day, just because you've got a lot of cross highways. All right, well, how about to Fort Worth? Well, Fort Worth, even though it looks similar in distance, it's actually not quite as long of a commute. Let's kind of see what that would look like. As you might have guessed, going straight down 35 right this way. And again, because I think this one is shorter, it doesn't have as much intersecting highway, as much merging on and off, and I'm sure that probably helps. It's not also as high of a densely populated area. So I'm sure that makes a difference as well. You can just see a lot more highways and whatnot going on here in Dallas. Okay, so how about if you wanted a little entertainment? Let's take a look at the AT&T Stadium. There it is. Let's see what kind of drive we would have there. Okay, you can see here you're going to start up again with I-35, head on over to 121, and then take 360 down. You're talking about 47 minutes. And again, because you're going through that hub of traffic. All right, how about DFW Airport? That's not as bad, 35-minute drive. That's not atrocious. Let's see what that's going to look like. Well, it's going to be similar as if you were going to the AT&T Stadium. You're basically going to take 35 over to 121 right in here. Okay, so 35 minutes is doable. If you worked in Denton and had to travel with work, 35 minutes every once in a while is not atrocious, right? All right, let's see here now. How about the Legacy Central Business Park in Plano? Let's see what that looks like. There we go. So you would take I-35 over here to George W. Bush to get you to Plano. So about 45 minutes. So as you can see so far, None of these commute times are particularly thrilling, right? Like when we do our vlog tours in Arlington and Grand Prairie and Irving, we're always just like, oh my goodness, so centrally located, so great. Well, there's a reason for that, because here you've got this really nice area up here in Denton, but the commute time, not so pretty. Okay, what else? Let's see what else we have here. The Las Colinas Business Center. We're talking about 36 minutes. So let's take a look at that. Okay, there you go. And you've got George W. Bush getting there. So you're going from 35 to George W. Bush, and you're right there in the Las Colinas Business Center. And again, 36 minutes is your commute. Now, how about a little recreation? Well, it's got a variety of lakes, and I have highlighted just a few here. You've got Louisville Lake and Grapevine Lake. Not too far either, especially Louisville Lake. So you've got some nice outdoor recreation there to enjoy. Okay, so let's take a look at some general information, some statistics, just to kind of get us started here. Let's see here now. We are going to scroll way in because we need to get a closer look at Denton. All right, so let's kind of get in here like this so we can kind of get a good idea of what's going on with Denton here. So what is the population of Denton? Well, it's right around 147,000. Okay, so give or take a bit, but 147,000, a little bit smaller than Grand Prairie to kind of give you some perspective on that. Much bigger, about twice the size as Mansfield. So I don't know if that's smaller than Frisco also. All right, what else do we have? Well, it's in Denton County. I guess that seems kind of logical. Land area, 96 square miles. This is close to Arlington. So this gives you an idea, density, population density, because in Arlington, we have, I believe, like 99 square miles land area with a population of 400,000. So that's kind of a nice thing to see there. Same size and a fraction of the population. So that tells you in Denton, you got room to move around, okay? 147,000, so very nice that. All right, let's see what else. The 2020 growth rate, growing at about 2%. We saw that same growth rate in Mansfield. And Denton does encourage that with a little bit of new construction. It does have some. When we talk about places like Midlothian and Waxahachie and Mansfield, we use words like exploding in growth. Well, that is not the case in Denton, but it does have some. More than Irving. Like Irving has a little bit, Denton has probably more than Irving, but not even remotely as close as what you'll see in Midlothian. Okay, growth since 2010, 30%. So that's a pretty good clip that it's been growing. 2010 population was 113,000. Average household income in Denton, 78,000. Okay, so we have definitely seen some close to that area. Areas like Mansfield were much higher than that. I would say that's average to below average. But the thing you have to remember about all of these statistics is that you're including a massive amount of college students in here. Thousands, probably about 25,000 would be my guess, because you have 2 universities in Denton. So, you know, when we talk about the population, a lot of that is college students. When we talk about the growth rate, when we talk about the average household income, okay, a lot of that is going to be affected by how many college students there are, as well as home ownership rate. So see that 48%. That's a pretty low home ownership rate. And we also saw this with Arlington, that when you have colleges in town, you can kind of expect that it's going to have a lower home ownership rate because the demand is there for rentals. And of course, the students are transient by nature. So you're not going to see them buying just while they're in college, right? That makes sense. Okay, let's see what we have else. Okay, so now that we've gotten some good ideas of statistics, let's take a look at some things that are in and around Denton. Okay, so let's start with hospitals. Okay, because you're not going to be hurting for medical care in Denton. Right here you have the Texas Health Presbyterian Hospital of Denton, and then over here you have the, let's see here now, the Health Services of North Texas in Denton. So you have 2 different hospitals there. Let's see what else. How about colleges? Because that is a very important part of Denton, and we talked about that, right? So here you have, right over here, Texas Women's University. Okay, and then over here, probably the bigger one that gets so much attention is the University of North Texas. And if you have seen my video on Denton, you'll know that especially the University of North Texas has had a huge impact on the culture of Denton because they have a very high musical influence, neat jazz, and so you see a lot of that influence because you've got like a lot of free concerts and things like that. So it's really neat. The University of Texas brings a lot of college students, like we said, but really has affected the culture, and so I think that's just a very cool thing to have. Let's see here, and let me show you. All right, I wanted to show you this right here. This is Denton on the Square. Now, this is a really neat area. So let me kind of scroll in a little bit so you can see this more. So what happened with Denton on the Square is they decided, to restore the Denton County Courthouse. And they did this big renovation project. And what happened was it was so popular that they went ahead and renovated everything in here. And so now it is this really neat square area where, and the cool thing is when they redid this, the tenants that came in, basically the businesses that came in were mom and pop shops. So you have like a lot of neat individualized stores, knick-knack kind of things, just really, really neat shopping experience, with the beautiful courthouse being right at the center of it all. They also have some really neat events here, like free concerts. So just a lot. This is very much this has influenced Denton in a big way in terms of like its culture and its character. So I think that's just a really neat thing to show. Now, if you're into more of a nightlife, a little debauchery, if you please, I don't know if I said that right. Over here you have Fry Street, okay? And this is the area where you're more going to have like where your college students are going to be, like concerts, bars, just a fun nightlife. So that is over here at Fry Street. So that's kind of a fun little entertainment fact for you as well. Let's see if we can open that back up again. Okay, so now let's talk a little bit about what housing is like, okay, because I know that that's important. You can see that there's a lot. Let's kind of scroll out here. You can see there's a lot here, a lot of fun stuff to do here. You've got plenty of hospitals, you've got your higher education, you got your Fry Street, your county square, lots of neat things to go. But what about housing? How is housing here in Denton? So let's kind of take a look at that. Let's scroll over here a little bit. Okay, so the median sales price in Denton in the past 90 days was $350,000. Okay, so not as high as, for example, Mansfield. Kind of on par with what you would see in Arlington. Okay, so definitely some affordable because that's a pretty low median price. All right, let's see. Median price per square foot in the past 90 days, $181 a square foot. Let's see here, new construction areas. Yes, I want to show that because we talked about how there are some new construction areas in Denton. So the first one is the Reserve at Creekside subdivision. Let's kind of take a look. That is down here, Reserve at Creekside. Let's scroll in here, kind of see that area. So, you can see like, sometimes when you look at, like my Mansfield map tour or my Midlothian map tour, you'll just see like these massive, massive subdivisions going in, and Waxahachie as well. So that's not necessarily the case here. You're not talking about massive new construction, but there is some. So that's kind of nice that you have that option. And those were the higher price by the square foot in terms of bringing that price per square foot up. Okay, so let's take another look here. What is next on our list? We are over here. All right, nice areas, the Robson Ranch subdivision and in Southwest Denton, sorry. Okay, so where is that? Let's take a look at that. Where is our Robson Ranch? Okay, you can see way down here. So this is more your affluent area, Southwest. Now there was one other thing I wanted to show you. Let's see, on the new construction. No, I guess that was it. So anyway, so some new construction, some nice affluent areas, but definitely also some affordable areas. Now let's see here. Now let's go ahead and close that up. Yes, now I remember what I was going to show you. I was going to show you more new construction. Okay, so let's see here. Down here we have, okay, some more new construction here. Country Lakes. Okay, so we have Country Lakes, and then of course we have over here the Preserve at Pecan Creek. Okay, so some new construction there, and then of course we also have the Reserve at Creekside. So definitely some new construction, but again, not massive. So, you know, I think that Denton would be a great place to live. Let's just say if you're a college professor, you know, and you're going to work at one of those two universities, just know that you can find something nice here, right? You can find some nice new construction kind of sprinkled within, not just an explosion. I believe the biggest one is, I gotta remember here. I believe it's Reserve. Yeah. The biggest one in terms of new construction is this Reserve at Creekside. So really nice, but even it isn't huge. We're not talking about massive, but it is bigger. So I'm kind of giving you just, let me show you just a little bit. Hang on, let me see here. Let's get rid of that and get rid of this. Okay, so I wanted to give you an idea of drivability because, you know, we've talked about, like here, for example, we've talked about Arlington. And we talked about Arlington we've done several videos on Arlington. If you're interested in that one, be sure and visit my page. We've talked about, the traffic in Arlington. It's not fantastic, right? And you can see why. Big space, as big as Denton, no north-south corridors except on its ends. So, oh my goodness, the stop-go here, it's not so great. So like if you were gonna settle in Arlington, maybe you would wanna go, you know, close here, or close in here. But even if you are, this 360 corridor right here it's kind of congested too. It's an older highway. Go down here, this is a tollway. This 360 part right here is a tollway. This part a bit on the slow side. Now over up here in Arlington, and I know we're not actually doing a video in Arlington, but I do have to tell you, and we're doing we're just finishing up a vlog tour on this, but up here in this area you do have the Viridian, which is a fantastic new development, and the highway access isn't as problematic because you've got 360 right here. Okay, so but back to Denton. So, you know, you see Arlington, no north-south. Now let's go ahead and take a look at Denton, and let me kind of visit with you, and you can see how that is different. You see that north-south corridor there? Okay, and that makes such a difference when you're talking about what is traffic like in a city, right? So you've got some north-south access, plus you've got 3 east-west, and you kind of have this whole loop. So really neat in that way. And again, you've got a big city, you've got a lot of college students, but still it's really nice to see that whole loop because, you know, wouldn't we like to see that in Arlington, right? I mean, would we not? Because remember, that's the same land area as what we see in Arlington, and just what a difference there. Okay, so I hope that was helpful. We talked about, you know, the commute times. We've talked about, you know, just the various events, the entertainment, the hospitals, the colleges. Anyway, I hope that helps you to get, again, that bird's eye view of what Denton is like. You know, lots of great shopping in Denton, good dining options. And again, like if you're working with a college, oh my goodness, what a fantastic place, because you're going to be able to find new construction, nice neighborhoods, you know, and still be close to work. So, you know, in terms of a commute, maybe not so much. If you had to work in downtown Dallas or downtown Fort Worth, probably not so much. But if you were working right there at the college, I think it would be phenomenal. Anyway, hope this was helpful in giving you that bird's eye view of Denton. Again, if you want more information, don't forget to check out my video on Denton. Lots of helpful information there, especially on entertainment and music and the rodeos and whatnot. But anyway, so yeah, hope that was helpful. If it was, you know, the next best thing you can do, right, is head on over to my YouTube page and, you know, check out another video, particularly the one on Denton. That would probably be particularly helpful. In the meantime, be sure while you're over there to hit the subscribe button and tap on that little bell. And listen, if there is a move in your future, you know, if you're coming anywhere in here to the Dallas-Fort Worth area and you like the idea of our family helping yours, and I don't know why you wouldn't, it sounds like a great idea to me. Be sure and check out our Let's Find Home questionnaire in the description section, or give us a call, drop us a text, send us an email. Really, any of those work. We're just glad to help you find home in Dallas. Anyway, in the meantime, listen, thank you so much for watching and have a great day.